Good morning, everybody. We'll get started here in one moment. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We will get started here in about another minute or so. We're just letting everybody load into the Zoom app. All right, let's go ahead and jump right in and get this day going. Good morning, everybody. I'm Robert Theobald, Small Business Ombudsman and Vice President of Small Business Services at the Arizona Commerce Authority. And we're glad to have you with us today for today's Small Business Boot Camp. What we like to do to start out, if you're new, is let's post up in the chat where you are tuning in from. We'd love to see where from throughout the states our participants are from. I see we have Amber from Anthem with us, Mike from Tucson, got Greg over in Tempe, Chandler, Mesa, Phoenix, Goodyear, Flagstaff, Gilbert, downtown Phoenix, another Gilbert, Phoenix, Surprise, Window Rock, Austin. Thank you from Bradley from Window Rock, or Francine, sorry, Window Rock. We've got Kevin from Gilbert, more Gilbert, downtown Phoenix again as well. Another Mesa. So excellent. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We appreciate that. Again, if you're just joining, post in the chat where you're tuned in from. We love to see that information. What's fun about doing that is we've got New Mexico. We've had multiple states also join us, and we've even had over 15 different countries represented on the boot camp. So it's always fun to see that information. All right. So as we start out, we'd like to thank all of our community partners. We could not do these webinars without them, without their time, their effort, and their expertise, and their willingness to give back to the community. We are so grateful for all of our presenters and that effort they've given to this program. For those that are new, the Small Business Boot Camp is designed to help small businesses prepare, plan, and grow. The webinars we do every other Tuesday through May 20th, and then we're going to take a summer break. But you can find all of our great recorded webinars because we do webinars so we can reach the entire state. And we also do them so we can record them and share those recordings with you. So in our content library, we have well over 300 recorded webinars that you can access at any time, view the recording, view the slide decks, and get that information you might be looking for. Now, the ACA has a number of programs to support small businesses. You can scan that QR code and it'll take you to our programs page. You can find that at azcommerce.com/programs. But these are all here to help grow Arizona businesses and grow Arizona's economy. A lot of great information there on the website. One of the programs we like to talk about and share is our small business checklist. This is one of those programs that most of you can take advantage of, whether you're just starting or looking to grow or expand your business. You can get great information on the commonly requested licensing, registration, and compliance requirements for your business and the communities you may be working in. You can also, at both the local, state, and federal levels, so all the different levels. But you can also find other great information and links to different agencies and organizations to help your business. You can also leverage our virtual assistant, Sally. Sally is our generative AI virtual assistant, and she is educated on the checklist and can give you some great responses as well. Scan that QR code, it'll take you to there. or you can find it under the programs page on our website as well. So a quick look at some of our upcoming sessions. We've got a great HR session next week, your key to secure top talent and growth. From the survey we recently did of small businesses and service providers, talent acquisition workforce was a major topic that was brought up. And so this can help you if you're looking to hire and grow your business. This could be a great session for you. And then we've got on Tuesday, May 6th, Mastering the P&L, the profit and loss statement, unlocking its potential for efficient business operations. We've got one of our great presenters, Kevin Connor from the Small Business Development Center out of Central Arizona College. He's a great former business owner and does a phenomenal job in making the P&L easy to understand and how to use it for your business. So we hope you can join us for those. But with that, we're going to jump into today's session. We have Biz Coach Steve Feld back with us. I've been working with Steve for many years now on the boot camp and other areas. He's a great presenter, very knowledgeable, and we're glad to have him back with us again today. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and Steve is going to pull up his. And one of the things we like to do is we like to use the Q&A at the bottom of your screen for questions. That way, if we have interaction or if Steve asks you guys questions, you can answer those in the chat. But we'll use questions you may have for Steve in the Q&A, and then we will get to those at some point during the presentation to answer those regarding LinkedIn. So Steve, it is all yours.
Great, well, thank you very much. And yeah, Robert, keep an eye on that chat because I can't see it.
Yeah, will do.
Presenter mode, thank you. Well, folks, we're going to talk about optimizing your LinkedIn profile today. I do go fast. Please, be prepared. You could take screenshots, take photos of anything that we are showing you today, because I'm going to be showing you some secret tricks, tips that help you become super successful on LinkedIn. And our goal today is so you can update your LinkedIn profile to make it look super professional and start attracting people to it, as well as understanding how to keep up your LinkedIn profile so it stays relevant and fresh. And then the last thing is engage with your target market on LinkedIn. So we have a lot of content, and I'll go fast because you never know. I'd rather get done a little early than leave you guys short with some information. So first, you need to decide, what do you want to be on LinkedIn? Why do you want to be on LinkedIn? How are you going to use LinkedIn? It's definitely the best B2B platform out there. So are you there for your brand and credibility? Robert and I were just talking about credibility. Writing a book is a great way to improve your credibility. But you put it on LinkedIn and promote it, and it'll always be on there. Or do you want to connect with your target audience and grow your business? You really need to know who your target market is. We're going to cover that today, so that's going to come up a lot. If you don't know who your target market is, and it's not everyone, you really need to sit down and figure that out immediately. Or are you looking for investors or funding or even joint venture partners? You could do these all at the same time, but focus on one at a time. Or do you want to build your network? It's a great way to build your network. And you want to be seen as an expert in your field. Maybe you're trying to move up in a company or take over an industry, or you want to just get into an industry or break into it. This is a great place to do it. Are you looking for a job? Because how you set up everything is different than, say, looking for brand and credibility. What is your purpose here? Do you want to leverage industry professionals? This one is phenomenal, especially if you do a lot of stuff in your industry and you know who your market is. Great way to leverage a good network and gain a lot of knowledge and share a lot of knowledge. Or do you want to be a speaker and get out there and get speaking gigs? It's amazing how many contacts I've used if I'm trying to find a speaking gig and I can't get through the gatekeeper or through the normal site. but I can go on LinkedIn, do a quick search, and find out who is the correct person I should be talking to, connect with them, build some rapport, and next thing you know, we're having a conversation, and now here comes that gig. So what do you want to do on LinkedIn? Okay, we got a lot on this screen. These are just 7 habits of highly successful LinkedIn users. Can you do them all at once? Probably not, but put in some time. I usually plan, when I was building up my LinkedIn profile, I planned for 1 hour for 5 days a week. That's it, 5 hours a week on LinkedIn. Might sound a lot, but it paid off amazingly. So you got to put the time into this. Just slapping up some content without any purpose is, well, you're throwing spaghetti at a wall. Remember, what is your purpose on LinkedIn? Always keep that in mind. Change your status update. It says 24 to 48 hours. You know what? I do mine maybe once a week now. But when I first started building everything up, yes, it was always 24 to 48 hours all the time. Always had a call to action. Always had a hashtag that was relevant to me and my business. So did you know you can create your own hashtags? Do a little research on that. And then I answered questions in groups, and we're going to talk about groups, and the groups that we're going to talk about is your target market as well. And I do update my profile still to this day, probably every 5 months. And the reason is I want to just change a little content, make it more relevant. I can probably add some tweaks to it. There's always something you can work on it. And I do answer, believe it or not, LinkedIn InMails and emails, get quite a few of those. A lot of it is spam. And I do actually have a response to my fellow spammers out there. I'm not one of them. But if you're spamming me to buy your stuff, I got a great response to come back on you, trying to turn you back into a client of mine. And they post your company's events. This is great. So if you're doing events, speaking, book launch, doing some activities, open houses, workshops, whatever it is, post it on there. And post it often and make it relevant in groups. Same with conferences. I can't believe how many times I have found conferences, webinars, seminars on LinkedIn just by being engaged. And some of them have built some phenomenal relationships. And then here we go again. Know your target market and the goals on LinkedIn. This is what you're going after. What is your purpose on LinkedIn? If you're all over the place, when people go to your profile, they don't get you and then they go out. But if they're relevant and they are your target market, they're going to get you and then want to know more. That's what the power of LinkedIn is for you. All right, we're going to kick right into it. I'm using me as an example because the last time I did this, I picked someone from the audience and we used them as an example, and it didn't turn out so well for them because they didn't have anything on their LinkedIn profile. So I need something to work with, so I will be that guinea pig. But put yourself into this. Create what you want. What's your vision? I'm just going to give you examples. You need to take that step and make it yours. This is that R&D, rip off and definitely duplicate. So first thing is a captivating banner. This is the best real estate on LinkedIn because that's one of the first things that people see is your banner. Use it. Use it and think of it like a billboard on a highway. Same thing. Use it. Use it to your advantage. You could display, like, I have books and my coffee brand on here, and it's just short and sweet of what I do. Nothing crazy. But you got to think where the placement is, where your picture is, and then do it. You could create this in Canva or many other programs and just take advantage of it. And everything I'm going to say today is take advantage of it. Every character, every millimeter that you can on LinkedIn. If they give you 140 characters to do something, take 140 characters. Take advantage of it. But you have to create a captivating banner because we all are visual in some way, shape, or form. And you got to grab their attention. Okay. Get a professional photo, people. I cannot stress this enough. Get someone, even if it's, I had to blow this up so it's nice and fuzzy for you, but get someone, even if you don't want to go pay for a professional headshot, get a camera, get some good lighting, and get someone to just take your picture looking professional in your industry. So if I dress like this and I'm a fitness pro, I don't think I'd be relating to my audience too well. But if I was dressed up in my workout gear and looked like I just finished a class, but still done up nice, that's more relevant. So think about your industry, who you're targeting, and your image. What is the photo you want to put out there? Don't have it cut off with your ex or with your spouse or whoever. Get a single shot, just you. No dogs, no drinking in it, unless you maybe have a beer company, then you definitely hold up your beer. But think of your image. This is who you're portraying to your potential target market. And it needs to portray who your target market is, who you are. Still keep it real, still be personal about it, but make it professional. And then I always suggest put a yellow or green rim around it like it is here, because when people do a search, it'll stand out. Now, certain colors have turned off people, and doing some research on this, if you chose like red around it, people will not click on it because they think you're angry for some weird reason. I don't know why, because it's red. So you want to find a nice neutral color. Now, I know someone who orange is their color. Like they wear orange, it looks phenomenal on them. If I would wear orange, you'd be like, what's wrong with you? So find something that also complements you and your industry as well. So certain industries have certain colors associated with them. Mentioned about fitness. So they use the lavenders, the light greens. So do a little research on that. But I found yellow works the best for me. All right, headline. This one is gold because it just gives you like that. Think of your 30-second pitch. This is your 5-second pitch. This is what people read immediately to captivate them. If they do a search, a random search, and all they see is the headlines in your photo, is it going to be enough to captivate them to open up your profile and look a little bit more? Think of it that way. So one of the first elements, I mean, this is what they all notice. They're going to see your banner, and then they look right at this. Are you for me? Are you going to solve my problem? Is this someone who I should connect with? Why should I connect with them? So instead of saying like you're a marketing manager, okay, that could be very vast and everything. What about a strategic marketing manager specializing in digital campaigns for brand development? Now you've just narrowed it down and really honed in of your professionalism. So don't put in there, I help. Don't put any of that stuff in there because you're wasting words. Do you really help? Help usually means volunteering. I mean, people hire me. Yeah, I do help them with things, but they hire me first. So then use all the characters you have and just do quick little bullet points. Someone showed me this, God, I don't even know how many years ago. And I just can't get off of it now because it's so to the point and so concise, but use every character possible here. Don't ramble on. Use every character strategically to hit your target market and show that you're the expert in your field. Because a lot of people, I'm just like them, will only read this little headline when we're doing a search or a random pop-up comes up. That's all they have to captivate you. It's your elevator pitch. Utilize this thing. Is it easy? No. This is where you need some honest friends with you, because I have redone this so many times, and I've gotten some great feedback on it, and I keep tweaking and changing it. Who knows? It might get tweaked again. All right. This one kills me, and it kills so many people who are on LinkedIn, and there has been so many group chats or discussions on this one topic. It's insane. Complete your contact information. I don't know how many times I've come across someone, wow, they're going to help me solve this problem I have in my business. And then I go to their contact information and it's blank. So now how do I contact them? I have to use LinkedIn InMail. Well, maybe I don't have credits, or maybe they don't accept it. Maybe they block them. Who knows? But now how do I contact them? I mean, this is the simplest thing. Make it easy for your target market, your prospects, for anyone to contact you. This takes moments to do. It's not that hard. So when someone clicks on that contact info, it'll open up to the box. Here, once again, where it says website, utilize this. Social media profiles, utilize all that. Fill it up. If they're going to give you a place to put 4 websites, put as many as you have in there. Just take advantage of this. Really use your contact information. This is important, especially if you do e-commerce. Maybe you have some kind of sales site. You want to draw people to that website, but you want people to contact you. Put it in there. Don't be that person that we can't get a hold of. All right, we're going to go to summary. Told you we're going fast and furious. Summary, this is your about section. Here, just think of this as like your long form sales pitch. Remember, your headline was that short form elevator pitch. This is the long form summary of you. It's your sales pitch, really is. And don't start off with I. Okay? Throw in the accomplishments of what you do, who you work for, and how you solve their problem. I'm going to show you a template on how to use this in just a moment. But you want this to be short and concise. There's only so many characters. Once again, utilize those characters. You want to talk about your career journey as well. So does it have a lot about me? Well, I also have, as you're going to see, third person, testimonial, and then from my point of view, a little bit of everything in there. And I broke it up, tried to give it some breathability. You don't want to just shove in so much content you can't read it, or throw in 100,000 emojis in there that no one knows what you're trying to say. But the first 2 sentences of your about is that hook. You got to hook them in, just like a headline in newspapers. You got to hook them in so they can read more. Spend time on this. Work on those 2 sentences to really engage them of who you are, who your market is, and how you support them or help them. And then always think of this in the back of your head is with them. Greatest radio station in the world. What's in it for me? The me is them. So always think of this. It's not about you, it's about them, but it's about how you help them. Once again, help, or so they can hire you. So really work on your about section. This is your description. Okay, I promised you a simple template. This is the time to take a screenshot or whatever. This is a nice, easy format to utilize to put in your about section. And if you notice, I am utilizing that in mine. So what I do, it's who I help, right? It says I help. Well, I use, small business owners hire me to. So now I name who my target audience is to achieve what? What are their goals? And then by providing what are your services, products, modalities, whatever it may be. Who do you work with? This is great. This is also if you're trying to get joint venture partners. So I love joint venture partners. I'm full in on them. And I utilize my joint venture partners and they utilize me to death. Love the relationships I've built using joint venture partners. And then where you've seen me. Okay, maybe you've been on TV. Maybe you've done interviews, wrote books, whatever it is. Throw that in there if it's relevant to your market once again. And then services you provide. So you could do bullet points. Don't ramble on. Stick to who your target market is. Give them only about 3 of them, that's enough. The top 3 bullet points. Good. And what makes you unique? And folks, yeah, we all have different stories, different backgrounds, different educations, a lot of acronyms maybe behind our name. But what makes you different? So a simple thing for me is I hear this all the time, working with small business owners as a business coach. What makes me different? Well, I've owned and operated 7 businesses and turned around 4 others. Most of the business coaches don't know what it feels like to be in your shoes, to wake up at 2 in the morning in a cold sweat worrying about payroll tomorrow. That's what makes me unique over many of my competitors. So find out what makes you unique. What makes you different? Think of pizza companies. They're all selling pizza, but they're all different and unique in their own way. And then also throw in 2 to 3 testimonials, short testimonials. I have a couple testimonials of mine, but I had to condense it down to fit in the character. Short and sweet. Use real names, real businesses, real testimonials. Please, folks, don't AI this stuff. People see right through it. And yes, could you use AI to do all this? Absolutely. But you better make it yours, because people will see through this. And then once again, ready to talk, your call to action. Remember I said call to action on these things. How to get a hold of you. Make it easy again. So I'm even putting it in the About Me section so that they can still get a hold of me, and it's in the contact section. Okay, hopefully that helps. Where to start? Okay, detail your experience. Now, put in achievement. Yeah, we've all worked at a lot of places or done a lot of cool things. Great. A lot of times people are slapping up a resume up here, which is fine and good. But why not take a spin on it, a little twist on it, and focus on your accomplishments a little bit more, and then how those accomplishments relate to your target market and what you do right now. You can spin all that way. So demonstrate that impact in a different way than just bullet pointing like on a resume or anything. This approach, it gives you tangible evidence that your skills and contributions, that makes you the expert in this area. No matter what you did in the past, relate it to what you're doing today. Every little thing, this again, utilize your character counts all the time. Great way to get your pitches in. And then great way to help throw in more you could throw a testimonial in here if you like, if you still have room. But utilize this experience section so that people do look at it. I promise you on this. Okay, your skills and endorsement. We all got skills. I get it. We all do. And we have skills in every position we've ever been, whether we know it or not. Even being a cashier at a fast food place, you got skills. You do. So max this out. And this is one of the things, once they started really opening up your skills and all these endorsements, I really started to hone in on this one. Every time I connected with someone, I went through their whole profile, found out what really resonated with me, and then I endorsed them on skills for about 5 skills. Took me a whopping maybe a minute to do that. Well, now that's helping them. Well, guess what else? I also have my picture up there that I endorsed this person for that skill. And maybe I get to know them and I can endorse them some more. They do cap on how many skills you can have showing at one time, but just rack them up. So in the system, you can go in there and put your skills in there. So when someone wants to endorse your skills, they have the drop down list and they can just click on the bubble and then endorse you really easy. So think of your skills, put them in the system, put them in your profile, and then encourage people. You endorse them, they will endorse you. It's one of those, go first, why not? But take advantage of your skills. All right. Customize LinkedIn URL. Folks, a lot of people don't utilize this, and what they don't know about it. This is Easy to do. Get some activity, get some traction, get some followers, get some connections. Then go customize your LinkedIn URL. This is gold. Think of this as real estate. You're planting your flag somewhere. It's the sign outside your door. Think of it like that. This is where now when you share it, it's not linkedin.com and then gobbledygook letters and numbers and characters after that. That's pretty tough. But if I say, follow me on LinkedIn, I'm under Steve Feld, done. There it is. Real simple to use, real simple to find. You want people to connect with you and relate to you. This is part of your branding. It's real easy to do in the setting. Okay. Expand your network. Once again, as you see, I have the contact information there, where I'm located. Put my website in there. Why? They gave me characters to do that. I'm taking advantage of it. But now let's talk about expanding your network, building up those followers. Now, you think about this. Are you building up followers just to be building up followers, or do you have a purpose in mind? Do you have a goal? Who's your target market? How do you want to connect with them? So this is a little bit of strategy in there. I do not accept every connection request I receive. There's some that I don't get why they're trying to connect with me. We have nothing in common. It's not my related target market. I don't think I have anything I could do to help them. I don't know why. They're just trying to build up their connection. And at the beginning, I get it. But after a time, it's like, I do it now more strategically. At the beginning, yeah, I'll accept your connection. I don't know who you are. Maybe we'll build something. And then I'll never hear from you again. Now it's very much more strategic. And I just try to engage with people as well. Okay, how to build up your network. So first, invite people you know. Coworkers, colleagues, vendors, customers, friends. This is a simple message. Don't just say, click to connect, right? You want to give a message. Why do you want to connect? Make it a little bit personal. You can change this how you like it. This one's just down and dirty and basic. But it's like you came across their profile and you have interests in common. Maybe they're your target market. Maybe they're in your industry. Maybe you both like pickleball. Who knows? Put that relevant stuff in there. And people do read your profile at a certain level. It's like now when I connect with someone, I do some proactive connecting still to this day. I look for people in my target market, and then I find something in their profile that I can really relate to. Maybe they have a black belt in karate. So do I. So that's a conversation starter. I would put that in. Real easy. Now we hit this as like, I call it the low hanging fruit. Let's take it up a notch. What about influencers in your industry? I love following people and looking at their feeds, the giant feed. See who engages with these people. So maybe you're following Gary Vee and people are commenting on that. You know, this is gold. This is like gold mine right now. These are people like-minded like you if you're into Gary Vee and love following him. They're commenting on it. Why not look at their profile and invite those people to connect, because you do have a common similarity, which is Gary Vee. Why not? Could be your tribe. These are your people. Connect with them. And then there's some posts that I see people responding to where I'm going, wow, they have a completely different insight than I ever would have. I need to connect with them and learn a little bit more about them. I'll go to their profile and be blown out of the water or be very disappointed. But if I'm blown out of the water, I'm shooting them this email immediately to connect with them. Or I'm going to do the connection with this messaging. There's only so many characters you can do on messaging, so utilize them to your best ability. As you see, I'm not selling anything. I'm not pitching anything. I'm not spamming them. I am trying to connect. So you can leave off your website, you can leave off your email, all that. You're just trying to connect at this point. Don't try to sell them first. That turns me off, turns a lot of people off, and I consider it spam, and then I will not accept your friend request, and I move on. So yes, I get this message all the time. Would you like to increase, 10, 15 appointments per week? I get that so much. I just delete it. I don't even, no, don't want to be spammed like that. Okay. You know your target market, your target audience market. I'll go after them. I'll do searches in LinkedIn, look at their profiles to see if they're a second or third degree connection, and then want to connect with them once I look at their profile, thinking this is someone who I need to connect with. So this is great too in industry as well. Down and dirty, simple little message, and it asks a simple question. The question I've talked to many business owners and coaches and consultants and everyone else is, what are you working on? People don't like that. So do I have to give you a novel? I'll tell you what, I have a nice Calendly link where you can pay me for my time so I can explain to you what I'm working on. That's going a little too deep. So just simple, what got you into this industry? Maybe you're trying to break into it, looking for a speaking gig. How did you land into that company? Make it fun, make it short and simple for someone to answer. Don't make it so deep and personal. People will just turn you off in 2 seconds. All right, invite connections to read your content. Here's another great way to really expand it. So let's say you have a podcast coming out and you want people to, get eyeballs on it or listen to it. You post it, but now you can go into your connection, your first degree connection, and send them a little quick message. I get this from a lot of my connections, and some of them really hit me like, ooh, that sounds like an interesting article. I'm going to go read it. Or that sounds like a really cool video. I'm going to go watch it. I wouldn't know about it because LinkedIn feed is moving and I could have missed their post. This is a great way to really engage your people, your connection. Nice and simple. All right, seek recommendations.
Hey, Steve, real quick, before we jump into this next piece, so looking at those invitations and those samples you did, I'm going to challenge everybody on here right now. If you want to practice that when this is done, you can find my LinkedIn at Robert Theobald MBA. If you just search that on LinkedIn, and feel free to connect, but use one of those invitations that Steve mentioned, and then we can connect on LinkedIn, but it also give you practice doing that in a friendly environment.
Absolutely. This is a great way. Perfect. Well, I was on the ACA call today. I thought we could connect. Simple. Yeah, we get it. It doesn't have to be a long, drawn-out method. But yeah, I love that, Robert. I'm open to connecting too.
Always. And then I also just noticed in the chat, Akbar Jafar posted his LinkedIn. Akbar is also one of the mentors that helps with ACA stuff, professor at GCU. So you might take a look at his profile. And again, it's an easy way to use some of these things right after this webinar and get used to doing them quickly. So I just want to jump in at this point because there were some great opportunities for connections.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people overthink this part. What do I say? What do I write? I'm trying to make this as easy as possible. Something down and dirty, but make it yours. Make it personal. All right, recommendations. This is a great place. Getting some recommendations from colleagues, from businesses that you've done business with, customers. See if they'll do a recommendation. Most of the time, if you just put a blanket out there to a whole bunch of people, can you please recommend me? You're going to hear crickets. But if I went to say Robert and I said, Robert, can you do me a huge favor and please recommend me on LinkedIn? He'll do a recommendation. I get to view it. I can approve it or tell him, hey, I'd like to make some changes and get it approved. I then would reciprocate immediately and recommend him. Why not? Odds are I'd probably recommend, I've gone to people going, listen, we've done business in the past. Do you mind if I recommend you? And I get their permission to recommend. And they say yes. And then I will send a recommendation and they will in kind reciprocate with a recommendation as well. This is building your credibility. People want, just like Google or Amazon reviews, what other people said about this product, right? Have someone else talk about you in a great light. So ask for recommendations, but you have to ask nicely. Don't be overbearing. If someone doesn't recommend you because they got busy or whatever, let it go. Just let it go. Move on to the next person. I've had a lot of people say, I'm going to recommend you. I've never seen a recommendation. I've moved on instead of playing harassing. Not the way to work. This is going to also give you that social proof as well. So build up your recommendation. We talked about updating your profile. You got to keep it current because your experiences are going to change. Maybe you're going to start tweaking things in your business, your target market, or your products, your services, something. Just tweak it. Maybe you just got a new certification. You got some new mad skills. Can you believe that you could put in the skills like Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint? Put all that in if you're proficient in it. Why not? And then regular updates. You could also do updates in your profile, and it'll let you announce that you've made some changes. So every time I've done change my picture, it always says, do you want to announce it? And I'm like, well, why not? And then I get comments about my picture, good and bad, but it keeps you active on your community. All right. We're going to talk about leveraging multimedia content too. So posting articles, being on a podcast, being at a conference where you spoke, whatever it may be. Maybe you're launching a new product, a new service. Utilize posting it, but then put that activity, because it'll be in like your feed, go to all activity, and then post it in your page as well. You're thinking, well, it should already be there. No, it could be done twice. One is all your engagement is on your page, and another place is your activity. So take that post that you just put in the feed, it will show up in your profile, but lower. Also put it in your all activity as well, because people can scroll left and right on that and see what kind of things that you've been doing. Take advantage of this. Why not double dip on this? Remember, it's SEO, it's marketing, it's all these other things to leverage you as that expert. Take advantage of it. All right, those 9 little dots up there mean something, people. That is some gold up there. And this is, if you're in business doing B2B, I hope you get very familiar with this. So if you use Premier, Pro, Sales, there's a lot of different products that they have. This is where you would find it. But one thing I'm going to show you is groups. Groups are a phenomenal way to build your network, build your connection, and really start connecting with people. But you need to know who your target market is, and then target market in groups. Find the groups you want to be engaged with. Being in a ton of groups sounds cool and all, but are you going to watch all those feeds? Are you going to be engaged in them? Start off with just maybe 3 or 4 that are your target market and get familiar with what's going on there and start posting in there, responding to people's posts as well. So get into targeted groups. I would say look for groups too that are in your target market that have a lot of members, because a lot of members mean more engagement. Less members, maybe the engagement could be high if it's industry specific, but find those groups that are your target market, your people. And some could be local. So I'm in some local groups. And the reason I'm in some local groups because they post some great content of things happening around the area. And then I can engage with them in person. By also being part of groups and posting in groups, responding to people in groups, to their posts, their comments, increases all your activity, increases your SEO, and makes LinkedIn a little happier about you, and they boost you up on the rating. So take advantage of groups. I love engaging on certain groups. I will go in there once a week to this one group and it's amazing the content. And I can spend a good hour or two in there just engaged in the content, responding to people and connecting with people in the group because we have a commonality, which gave you a little template on that. So groups are a phenomenal way to build your network, hone in on who your target market is, and really build some connections. So how do you build? Here's a great one for your target audience that are in the same groups. Nice, down and dirty. And this is so simple because people overthink this. It's like we're both in the same group and we have some same interests because, well, we're in the same group. And you also have the same connections because you're probably connected with other people in that group. So take advantage of it. This is a great way to build connections up. And I take advantage of this all the time, utilizing groups. Hopefully you will too. All right. So you see the messages are similar but different. They're tweaked because it has all a different purpose. So let's say you're looking for a company or industry that your target market is in, and you want to connect with them. So if you saw in my group, there's groups in there that have people in there that are in my industry, in my target market, or companies that I want to target with people in there. So this is a great way to connect with those people. So if you want to build up your knowledge in the industry, this is a phenomenal way. Do some searches. So whatever it may be, you might be a life coach. Fine. Connect with other life coaches. I know you're thinking, it's my competitor. Stop it. You can share and gain a lot of knowledge. There's plenty of customers out there. But it's a great way to build your knowledge, your clientele, because you never know. Those life coaches might do something different than you, and you could form a joint venture partnership with them as well. Take advantage of that. So you do a post, people comment on it, and they're not connected to you because they're probably seeing it through the feed, through a second or third person connection. And guess what? Why not connect with them if they make a comment on your post? So if you're scrolling through and you're like, I don't know who this person is, but the person above them, I'm connected with them, and they shared it on their feed or commented, so it's hitting my feed now, and they made a great comment, and I'm thinking, that's someone who's in my target market, someone I need to engage with. Why not send them a quick little message and just try to connect with that individual? Now, they could have been a 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th connection, and now they're going to be a first connection just by a simple note. A little in-mail never hurt anyone. Okay, posting, because this is a great thing. So I've done some updated research before this webinar, and for the maximum post during weekdays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, believe it or not, between 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. You know why? Because people come in the office, and what's the first thing they do is look at social media. There's your 8 a.m. And by 2 p.m., what do they do right before 2 p.m.? Probably having lunch. They're checking out their social media feeds. And engagement between 11 a.m. and noon. There you go. Lunchtime, before lunch. I just finished this project. I'm about ready to go eat in 15 minutes. Let me go check social media. Great times to post, but post when you like. I know someone who posts at 8:30 on Friday night, and they wonder why no one sees their post. I can't figure this one out. Okay, we went through quite a bit. So tips to be successful on LinkedIn: tell people how you help them. Don't spam them. Don't shove your stuff down their throat. Don't come right out of the gate selling stuff. How can you help them? Remember, with them. A picture communicates something that's relevant to your target market. So the images that you use on the graphic, that has to be related to you and your target market. Like I said, with the beer, if I'm holding up a beer and I say I'm an AA, it doesn't connect. Use your current job title. Okay, using your title is great. Saying accountant is one thing, but when someone says small business owners hire us to take the frustration out of bookkeeping, that's a little bit more impactful and more hooking than hey, I'm an accountant. Okay, website. Use your actual name, not other. So as you saw, I had company, and company. Otherwise, I'll just say other. Remember, utilize everything that's in LinkedIn. Past jobs, we've talked about this. Use those descriptions and turn them to how it relates to what you do now. So if it doesn't relate, you may want to leave it off or try to figure out a way how it connects to what you're doing now. We're all building these knowledges and skills throughout our years. It's connecting to it. Figure out how to connect to it. It always takes a little time. A strong summary, how you help them. I gave you that template. Use it how you like. Specialties, loaded in the 5 industry keywords. Find out what are your keywords in your industry. You could do searches on this. And I love doing this. Just doing some random searches on LinkedIn for certain keywords and see who pops up and see how many connections they have, see how much engagement they have. If it's very low, wrong keyword, next. And I'll play with that to find the keywords that really resonate with people on LinkedIn. Like I said, I cannot stress this enough. Complete everything that's on it. Yes, it will take time. Do it on a weekend. Relax. Have some fun with it. But once it's filled in, now it's just minor tweaking. If you're thinking, okay, I got to do this every month or 6 months, don't. No. Put it in and play with it and tweak it and always constantly be evolving. Liking and showing interest in others, that's going to help attract people to you. Just by when I engage on seeing someone else's post and I'll put something more than 3 or 4 words, because LinkedIn catches this. If you want to put in like good article, LinkedIn's like ignores you. But if you say, hey, I really enjoyed that article because, and you give them some content, LinkedIn loves you, and now it'll start expanding your SEO inside of LinkedIn. Remember, LinkedIn is a great SEO for all SEO out there. Have a plan to grow your connections. I mentioned this earlier. Don't do it willy-nilly. Be focused, be strategic. You want to utilize your time to the best possible capability. Okay. 10 ways to promote yourself on LinkedIn, your business. Okay, create a company profile. Set up a company page if you like. They're not as popular as they used to be because they changed a lot of the algorithms since Microsoft took them over. It used to be really dynamic, but still having a company profile, it doesn't matter what size your company is. Even if it's just you on there as the member or the only person, you can invite people. You can start posting the same content you post in your group on your feed. Why not? Get people in. You see this a lot. People love polls. Why they love polls? Because people respond to polls. Great way to build your network. Because if I commented on Robert's poll, someone on Robert's feed will see that I commented on Robert's poll. And they're like, I don't know who this guy Steve is, but let's go check him out. Why not? Answer questions. Get engaged on these things. If you're in a group and someone throws out a question, answer it to the best of your ability. Don't spam them. Don't sell your stuff. Answer it honestly and openly. Participate with groups. Why not create a group? I've created a group in the past and a group pretty big, and it satisfied its purpose. And I said, okay, the group has satisfied its purpose. I am now going to end the group. And everyone in the group, like, it satisfied our purposes too. And we disbanded the group. It was perfect. It just satisfied a purpose. And leave a status update for people. Like and share. Why not? Come on. People are going to like and share your stuff as well. Don't forget to ask for recommendations. Some people like to advertise. So I have done LinkedIn advertising for positions I've had open in my company, and it's worked out very well. You definitely get a different clientele. Be specific in those postings. You can advertise your products, your services, whatever you like as well. So just make sure you're hitting your target market. If you're advertising and going to spend money, make sure it's to your target market. Don't think everyone's going to buy your stuff. Post job opportunities. I've done this for people where I saw a friend of mine posting a job opportunity, and I said, I'm going to share that on my network as well, and I've shared it, and it helped them out a lot just by me liking and sharing it, and they found someone in a position who came through my network. Why not? Builds credibility, relationship, and it didn't take me anything to do this moment. And you can build company buzz. This is where you could say, coming soon, something engaging, leading up to things, and engaging their audience. Remember, reach out to them individually, saying, hey, check out my new article. So you're building buzz around yourself. All right. 5 key items to your profile strategy. We've covered these. This is what our goals were. Strong profile. Make it strong and engaging. Every time someone has built a very strong LinkedIn profile, people will like kind of come to it, flocks to it, because it's engaging, it's resonating with them. Building your community. We gave you a ton of examples on how to do that, and tons of quick little emails on how to utilize it. Capture audience. Once you have them, post content, engage them, engaging their audience. And then streamlining and resources. So once you have everything honed in, your profile all set up, now's the time to streamline and really start targeting. Every time you post, don't forget, just post in the general feed, but post it on your profile as well. This is what I love too, is I gain a lot of resources from my connection. I'll put it out there. Who knows someone who does this? And on my feed, and then I will reach out to certain people individually through a quick little message, because we're all first connections now, saying, I'm looking for this. And amazing, someone will show, call John, and here's all their contact information. I'll connect you, whatever it is, but you can gain a lot of resources, joint venture partners, speaking gigs, whatever it may be. Take advantage of those connections. Take advantage of just using the system to its ability. And that's what I had for you, Robert, and everyone else.
Excellent, great presentation. Lots of great information on LinkedIn. Very much appreciated. We have 2 really good questions that we're going to hit before we wrap up. Let me read those off. We got the first one is from Christine. It says, for setup, should we use our personal account, marketing account, or some other account? I have my own Gmail account I've had forever. I now have a business Gmail, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, it'll always have you do the personal first, because LinkedIn loves that. So you need to set up a personal before you can set up a business. And LinkedIn did that, God, years ago, because there's so many people just setting up business and they didn't have any personal. So when you went to the business, you're like, who is this guy, Robert? And there was nothing there. So they ended that. Using Gmail, I'd say if you can always use a branded email address, that's the goal.
And then we have another one says, posting during peak hours might not be the most practical, especially if you have a regular job and are trying to post on our side gig company page. Is there a LinkedIn software you suggest for scheduling posts during peak times?
Always make sure it's an approved third-party LinkedIn provider, because if it's not, you will get banned. I've been to LinkedIn jail too many times over stuff like this. So they do have recommendations, and they do have ways to post during certain times, automation software. So yes, definitely take advantage of automation, because I've used that in the past.
Very good. Well, we are right at time. Want to thank everybody for being with us. Again, we'll post the slide deck and the recording on our content library page later today or tomorrow. And we would challenge everybody to take some of these things you learned today and apply them. You can connect with Steve or myself or both of us, and some of the others posted in the chat. We'll leave that open for a second if you want to look at that and connect with others. But a great opportunity to wrap up this webinar and apply some of these skills real quickly with connecting with a few of us so you can get used to doing that. But again, Steve, thank you very much. Thank you all of our participants for being with us. And we will see you all in 2 weeks for our next boot camp. Until then, have a great rest of April.
Thank you, everyone.
So, bye.